Yo, 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 yo. What it do, baby boo? Welcome to episode 1. I told you I was going to make a vlog, a pilot vlog. Here it is. Reppin' City of LA, baby. San Pedro. Sorry. Came in a little ghetto. Little wannabe gangster, you feel me? Anyways, this episode's going to be mainly talking about horse racing. How I'm barely getting my feet wet in the game. My short-term goals, long-term goals, kind of what's going on, and that's basically it. Not really gonna talk about much else. I did get a head tat. This is the I guess you could call it my brand, right? Like I said, I just started. Okay, so here's the rundown. All I have are two small shares, tiny little pieces, but I do have legit certificates for them. It's through my racehorse. It's kind of simple, but it's not easy, right? Even being a small owner, it's kind of complicated. Not like I have to like feed the thing or take care of the horse or anything like that, but like up here, it's like in the back of your mind, it's like, you know, I care about them, right? Um, I have a small piece in a girl and a small piece in a boy. The boy is down here, kind of like inland to Camp Pendleton. It's not too far from me. He's on like a little rest staycation vacation thing before he goes into more training. He's like a year and a half. He's not really even 2 yet. But he had like surgery, right? Just for like a bone fragment. It's not even a chip. He could have went on and trained, but they just they take care of that stuff now so it doesn't become like a bigger problem later, right? And so that's like in the back of my mind, right? Because at the end of the day, I'd like to make money off of it. It's an investment, right? It would defeat the purpose of having my own race team, empire group, whatever I call it, whatever my thing is. It would defeat the purpose if I didn't have that mindset going into it. Like, I want to make money, right? That is the whole thing about having a business empire, which I'm trying to get to, is make profit, right? So I'm glad he had the surgery. Now I ran into his trainer, well-known professional guy, up at Santa Anita. I said, hey, Mark, his name's Mark Glatt. Plenty of wins, very accomplished trainer, successful guy. I just was crossing paths. Hey, Mark, my name's Mike. I got a small share, one share in Helios, and I read about the bone fragment and the surgery. I think he'll be fine. And then he's just like, yeah, it's nothing, no big deal. He'll be fine. So that was cool to meet Mark. And then kind of piggyback on that, I did the Ultimate Fan Experience, which was cool. There was two other guests with me, and they were there actually. The girl, she started playing like a game on the phone. It's called Ume. Let me see. I have it. I downloaded it. I haven't played it yet, but I have it on my phone. But they were actually there because of the game. It's like it's a game where they're like girl anime characters and they run around the track like racehorses. But I was there because of actual, like, having shares. But there's cosplayers that show up at Santa Anita, and this game's like pretty freaking big. It's called Uma Musuma or Uma Musume or something like that. It's it's uh it's this, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, so I did the Ultimate Fan Experience, and I got to go onto like the side of Santa Anita where all the stables are. That's like closed off. Public doesn't really have access to that. So I saw basically all the stables. There's room for like 2,000 thoroughbred racehorses back there. It's pretty big. I saw John Sadler's area, Mike McCarthy's area, Bob Baffert's area, a lot of big names. The trainer who I went and met and actually I was able to pet some of his horses, the ones he trains, was Mike Pipey, Puype. Nice guy, down to earth. Ask some questions like, I see it says like Cole Gelding, like C for Cole, G for Gelding, F for Philly, N for Mare. What does H mean? H is basically like stallion. After like 4 or 5, they're not considered colts anymore. And if they still got nuts, they just put H for horse instead of S for stallion. That's basically what I got from it. That's one of the main questions I ask, because on the booklet, when it defines the sex of the horse. But he's nice. His horse, he had one horse racing that day and it won. So that was cool. And then I briefly spoke to Mike McCarthy one day. Just said hi, introduced myself, shook his hand. Cool guy, down to earth. They're all really like humble, I guess. You kind of have to be like a horse whisperer, horse trainer at that level, with that expertise and skill level. I don't really see how they are not down to earth. You kind of get what I'm saying? I don't know. I haven't met Bob Baffert yet, but I've seen him. I'm gonna introduce myself one of these days. But yeah, the guy that took us around the Ultimate Fan Experience, his name was Iggy. He was cool. He's got like 9,000 races or more. Maybe like he's probably got like 8 or 9 or maybe even 10,000 mounts in his life. He just retired, I think he said, in 2021 or 2020. But he, if I remember correctly, he got to start in Washington State, like Seattle-ish area, and then made his way down here. And yeah, he's got some graded wins, some stakes wins, and yeah, really cool guy, very knowledgeable. Taught me a lot about the statues there. Like, I didn't know much about Zenyatta or Zenaya or whatever that filly mare's name was. She was like 19-0 and then lost the 20th race. Was almost 20-0. Almost pulled like a Floyd Mayweather, dude, undefeated. And then Seabiscuit. The cool thing about Seabiscuit is most of the horse races these days, they don't race as much as Seabiscuit did. He had, I think, like over 80 or 90 races. And the story goes he didn't really get into his groove until later, and he was actually a claim horse, like where you go and nowadays you can pick up a claim, right, for like 5 is like the very, very low end, and then they go up like 10, 15, 20, 30, 50. Some, I think, were even over $50,000 for a claim. You buy them right there on race day. And then if someone else wants that same horse, it's very simple. They call it a shake. Put both the names or 3 or 4, however many names, into a bottle on a piece of paper. They shake it, pull one name out, and whoever gets picked can buy the horse. That's called a shake. So I learned that about that. That's kind of what I want to get into. And then, so yeah, like I said, right now it's just my small shares via my racehorse, and I'm just trying to get up to the races every weekend, talk to people, learn the industry, learn the game, right? I got a late start. My family wasn't in thoroughbred horse racing at all, nor were my grandparents or their parents. But it's kind of in my blood. I feel like my ancestors rode a lot. I don't know, because when I get on horseback, it's all these like feelings come in. It feels like natural. I feel like I have like a bow and arrow on me. It's weird. I get in this mindset like I can just ride like the wind. So I feel like it's in my blood. But there's a thing that I kind of want to get into. It's called pin hooking. You go to a weanling sale, right? A weanling is a foal that just got off the mom's tit. That's called a weanling. You pick up a weanling at auction, right? and you stable it, you feed it. Pinhooking is also known as gambling with hay, right? You hope that the horse eats well, grows, and becomes strong. You don't necessarily train it to be a racehorse at that stage, but you are like with it. You know, you want to work on its like. I'm not going to give away what I'm going to do because that's going to be like a trade secret. But the gist of things, the gist of pinhooking from what I took, is you basically raise the thing into a yearling, and then you take it to the yearlings. So you have it for like anywhere from like 6 months to maybe like a year to maybe a year and a half at most, and then you sell it at like a yearling or a 2-year-old sale at an auction. So you try and double, triple. Sometimes you can 5x, 6x if it goes for a high price at the next auction, right? Sometimes you lose money, but obviously I'm not gonna get into pinhooking with the mindset like, oh, I'm gonna lose money. I'm gonna try and make money, right? So that's like a long-term goal. Be a pinhooker. I'll need like a legit stable, right? Capital backing for vet, hay, all that. And yeah, so that's like way down the road. And that's also would be like a step to getting claim horses to where you have full ownership. Or I could go in with like a syndicate, talk to like family members or people I know. Yeah, and you own with. It's kind of like my racehorse. You get shares. But like I said, you need the backing for in case something happens, insurance, hay, trainer, all that. And then eventually, long term, get an owner's license and a trainer's license. Maybe work under a big name trainer as a groomer. There's steps to all this, but it's all like you got to check off the boxes. You got to be responsible. And, this helps me stay on track, right? Stay out from being locked up, away from like other prisoners, stuff like that. This helps me stay on the straight and narrow because I got goals, right? So let's see, what else is there? I did not go to the races today because I had to do some laundry. I got to go to the bank. The first of the month is on Sunday or tomorrow. And so work is cool. I'm still a temp. It's been like 3-4 months. So just focus on just, being a decent human being, working hard, hustling, not getting into any altercations with my coworkers and my bosses, and just keep my head down basically and just work, move uniforms. So yeah, I think I'm going to end it there. This is the first vlog, number 1. We'll just call it the O.G.R.E vlog. It stands for Ophilia and Gold Racing Empire, right? I randomed Ophelia. I needed a name. I wanted to get a feminine name. So I random a name online. I like random. I random my pin. I random a lot of stuff. I'm big into that. So it came back Ophelia, which was cool. There's like the Lumineers song, Ophelia. There's a Taylor Swift song out called like Ophelia something. It's a cool name. It means to aid or to help. And I put gold because my last name kind of means like Aurea, Vioria. It kind of means, it means like village of gold. It's a very medieval name from Spain. It's old. So I put, and then I changed Ophelia to Ophelian, just so it's not like Ophelia Gold. So Ophelian Gold Racing Empire. So this is the vlog for that. All right. Peace out. Have a good weekend.